Hi, OmniSunday. Tyranitar is a classic Pokemon that's been fantastic in competitive play since its debut, though it's started to fall off this gen. It's supposed to be an overwhelmingly powerful Pokemon that can crumble mountains, bury rivers, and cause disasters in its wake. Yet, Tyranitar itself crumbles to a Mudbray's double kick. Our setting is the Appaloosa region, which is like Hisui except it's Unova and in the future. Team Plasma eliminated fairy types, and dragons reign supreme. I'll make a Tyranitar form that truly deserves the title of Natural Disaster. It all starts, however, with a tiny Larvitar. Larvitar's design is pretty simple. He's an angry little guy with pointy features. For our Appaloosa form, I gave it softer features like axolotl-like gills instead of the singular spike. It still has this diamond design on its belly, and it also has a large tail that resembles a seashell. With most of my Appaloosa forms, I like to subvert the designs of the original, and this pretty much keeps with that. Should I try something different? Maybe. I promise Appaloosa Tyranitar won't be soft and squishy. With Feraligatr in the dried river of Route 15 moving up to the land and easily preying on the 4 times weak Pupitar, the latter was forced to take residence somewhere else. The nearby Reversal Mountain proved to be a worthy place to live, but not without trouble. Larvitar was forced to find food in the thermal vents deep underground, and it became the water Pokemon we know today that absorbs energy to use as food. Because of the way it lives, it's cold to the touch. Its shell is made of ice, which it uses to attack. Larvitar is an ice-water type Pokemon with the ability Thermal Exchange and hidden ability Swift Swim. It has priority like Ice Shard and Aqua Jet, with strong attacks like Blizzard, Hydro Pump, and Earth Power, and useful status moves like Dragon Dance, Spikes, and Aurora Veil. It probably won't be good in Little Cup, but Swift Swim would help. Larvitar's huggable body and soft features betray its fierce demeanor. It stores energy in its shell to attack with hot or cold water. It's famous for its Scald attack, which it uses to burn anyone who thinks it's cute. Although it's the mascot for a hot tub company, no one is brave or rich enough to deal with the lawsuits that would come with letting a Larvitar near that many people. It can be calm around its trainer, but too many people would get it excited and possibly hurt them and itself. Once Larvitar has absorbed enough energy to power a volcano, it evolves into Pupitar. Pupitar still has a soft design, but with a few sharp spikes. It absorbs energy with its body, making the spikes feel cold while its gills are warm. It's a bit of a contrasting design kind of thing, except it's contrasting itself. The eyes are a little creepy, but I like it like that. So, when Larvitar reaches level 30, it evolves into Pupitar. Pupitar is an ice-water type Pokemon with the ability Shed Skin. It learns a move called Energy Storage, which is a bug-type status move that heals the user by twice the damage it took from any attacks this turn. Its chance of success falls every time it's used in succession, like Protect. Basically, if you use it the same turn you took 60% from a Hammer Arm, you heal back to 100. If you're at 50% before and take 20% from Flamethrower this turn, you heal 40% of the health to get back to 70%. Hopefully that explanation made a little bit of sense. I probably made it more complicated than it has to be. Just look at the picture. Basically every Pupa Pokemon learns this move, but most of them would still be hot garbage. Anyway, Pupitar itself is still pretty useless and competitive, but at least its moves are neat. Pupitar is a rare Pokemon that's mostly only seen underwater, sitting near the thermal vents. If bothered, it can swim around with the pressurized gas in its body and thrash about wildly. Although this thrashing can't topple a mountain, it's still quite dangerous. Few trainers own a Pupitar, but it's best to keep them in a dive ball with heaters set to a comfy 50 degrees Celsius. Luxury balls also work well. Those kept in less high quality Pokeballs will likely take longer to evolve, as if the wait wasn't already long enough. Once Pupitar has absorbed enough energy to power a legion of volcanoes, it evolves into Tyranitar. This design was inspired by my Spinosaurus video, specifically the wacky Irritator design with the zany jaws. It's still a Pokemon though, so it's keeping the tripod posture of its original form, and its gills are now something that looks like smoke. It's a volcano, but at the same time an aquatic Pokemon with icy components. It's got the tough qualities of Tyranitar, but exaggerated with the bright contrasting colors and shapes. Hopefully it's not too much. So when Pupitar reaches level 55, it evolves into Tyranitar. Tyranitar is an Ice-Fire type Pokemon with an ability called Volcanic Hail, and a hidden ability Intimidate. Volcanic Hail is a bit of a complicated ability. It sets rain for 5 turns on switch-in, during which this Pokemon's special attack is 1.3 times, and the power of its Fire-type moves is powered up instead of weakened. Other Fire-type attacks are still weakened, and otherwise it works like regular rain. Think of it like Miraidon's Hadron engine, but for rain, along with the extra Hydro Steam effect that comes along with the ability. I hope that makes sense. While its attack is great, this guy would probably end up being a special attacker with that unique ability. The Ice typing really brings it down, and Fire doesn't help much with the crippling Stealth Rock weakness. The low speed hurts it the most, and as a result, Intimidate is probably pretty useless. Dragon Dance is nice, but I'm not sure it really saves Tyranitar from the RUBL allegations. Even Eruption isn't great because it would have to pick between a Scarf with a huge risk of taking hazard damage, or Boots with a mon that's just too slow. The fact it brings rain means it'll always have a niche somewhere, but if the ability is banned while the Pokemon isn't, that means it might fall to some embarrassingly low tier. Okay, I was gonna give it a signature move because it's already got a lot, but we have to save Tyranitar from another fall below UU. Lava Dome is a Fire-type status move that's basically Baneful Bunker, but it can cause a burn instead. Oh god, it's so bad. Okay, hear me out. Ring of Fire, another Fire-type status move that burns surrounding Pokemon. Okay, fine, I know what I have to do. This is an offensive Pokemon, so it wants offensive moves. Pyroclastic Flow, a Fire-type special attack with insane power, but it only works on the user's first turn out. One last thing to give this Pokemon a real niche over Pelipper. Heart of the Volcano is a held item that can only be used by Tyranitar. Any rain set by Tyranitar when it holds this item lasts for the whole game, unless it's interrupted by another weather condition or really any other way. It's not immune to Cloud 9 or any theoretical weather-stopping move, it's just meant to mimic weather pre-Gen 5, other than the fact it can technically also use Rain Dance to set its perma-weather. Don't run Rain Dance Tyranitar. Okay, phew. Now Tyranitar can finally have another shot at OU, even in my stupidly power-corrupt metagame. Tyranitar is known in rural Opelucid as the Disaster Pokemon. It turns civilization to rubble, and any life around it is turned to ash. Volcanoes are up from its back, with a sound like rolling thunder. It isn't just about fire though. This Pokemon's Ice types attack are equally powerful, as it can cover cities with blizzards and freeze the ocean over with just a glance. Its power is so feared that most trainers get nervous and end up releasing Pupitar before it evolves. Only the strongest in Opelucid can handle the fury of a Tyranitar. That's about it for this video. Check out my Patreon where you can subscribe for $1 and I'll include your name at the end of my videos. Thanks Captain Cobot. My next Pokemon video will be on the DNA Pokemon. Hope to see you there, consider subscribing, and thanks for watching.